Hey guys, Rob here, aka MCRC, here with another Wednesday weekly wrap up. Hope you enjoy. Hey guys, welcome back to the Wednesday weekly wrap up. As I said last week, I'm actually on holiday this week, so I'm going to be out and about doing things. Normally I have at least a half day off where I can get stuff done, but actually this week I'm going to be out and about, busy every single day, enjoying myself, so I'm probably not going to have any time to write any new music or get out and about and do some things on the YouTube channel. So I've actually filmed this in advance. You also notice that I'm pretty much wearing the same clothes as last time, and from the whirring in the background you can actually see that the video from last week's weekly wrap up is actually exporting at this point in time. So obviously I'm not going to have had any chance to talk about any comments, if anyone has left any comments, if anyone's watched any of these videos, who knows. Currently at this point no one's really left any comments, not got many views, but I'm going to keep on plodding along. I set myself a challenge to do so many videos each week and try and put out a load of music, and worst case scenario is that no one listens to this, watches this or anything, but I've managed to delete a load of stuff that's been cluttering up my hard drive. So that's at least one bonus, even if no one else is watching this. But you never know. Things might have happened in this last week. I might have had a few comments, in which case I'll probably answer them next week. And as I say, if you've got any questions, you want me to do any tutorials, show you how I make the music or anything like that, then please let me know. As always, as part of these Wednesday weekly wrap-ups, I always put out a bonus track, which I think isn't great, from many years of making music when I was younger, when I was a kid and stuff like that, and some of the things that I did and wrote and and want to kind of show people that even if you are making good music now, you weren't always making good music. It takes a long time to kind of get your sound, but equally it's always worthwhile taking that journey and kind of doing it. I would say that it's always something worthwhile giving it a go, even if you just do it for your own enjoyment and it sits on a computer like mine for years and years and years and never goes anywhere. You never know that it might always end up being something that you can release or something like that, or even something that you can listen back and think, and it reminds you of some memories of when you were younger and what you were doing and stuff. This week is very much that. It's a song that I wrote. Well, I say song, a track, I don't know what you'd call it, that I did when I was about 17. I did a music tech A level, and part of that and helping out the music school, the music A level group, was that I did the sort of tech side of a show. So I helped out on the lighting and the sound and everything like that. And a lot of my friends, because a lot of my friends were sort of a musical group, people who did music and were into to play the instruments and things like that. A lot of my friendship group were people like that. And we did the show The Wiz. For those of you who don't know what The Wiz is, The Wiz is a Motown version of The Wizard of Oz. I think the film had quite a few famous people like Michael Jackson in and stuff like that, and effectively it was telling the story of the Wizard of Oz, but had a lot of Motown music in it that was specially written for the Wizard of Oz. One of the favourite tracks from it was Ease On Down the Road. I love that song when we were doing the stage show and everything like that at school, so it was really cool. But anyway, one of my friends who I often wrote music for, a guy called Joe, he would often take the brunt of my creativity, shall we say. Whether he liked it or not, I'd send him stuff and write stuff for him and stuff like that, and a lot of it was just in jokes and things like that, as I said before. So this one, he was actually played the Wizard of Oz. One of the quotes in the show was, "An announcement from the great and powerful Oz. Send up the one with the ruby slippers." And that was kind of like in a fake American accent. And I took that, and in classic style of what I often wrote back then, is I sampled it, I looped it round to death, and then put some music to it. And it was very repetitive, and it was a bit of a joke, and it was a bit funny, and it was him, so for once it was a sample that I'd actually created and looped around and everything like that, rather than just taking a quote from a film or something like that. So it was quite funny, quite amusing, and listening back to it now, it's not a very good song. It was a joke. I did it in a relatively short amount of time, and probably never went back to it and really polished it up or anything like that. But it was a bit of a joke between friends. And as I say, listening back to it now, if I sent it around some friends or something now, they'd probably be like, "Oh yeah, that was such a good show." And so, sometimes it's about, making music is about making memories and doing things that kind of remind you of, a time of your life and things like that. So I always think that I haven't ever had any equipment or anything like that that's cost a load of money up until recently. So I think there are a lot of songs that I've written using very, very cheap means that have ended up being pretty good. I mean, this one isn't great, but some of the stuff that will be coming out onto the channel around this video will have been made using the same equipment, and writing and recording and everything like that. These days it's even easier. There's so much stuff that you can do with free equipment that you don't need to really need to spend a lot of money to make decent music these days. Stuff, multi-track recorders and things like that, GarageBand and things like that. You can just sit down and do it. So it's so easy to write and record music these days. So I'd always say, if anyone's thinking about doing it, give it a go. It's easy to do, and you don't need a lot of talent, because I certainly don't. It's just, if you enjoy it, do it for you. I think sometimes, even with all this stuff where I'm putting the music out, it is sometimes hard to kind of keep motivated and think, but I just have to tell myself that I'm not really doing it to make money or build a fan base or anything like that. If I do that, it's great, and it'll be cool to do that and finally sort of achieve something with the music. But if no one listens to it, then I can always have a place that's a time when I can go back and just be like, "Oh, I'll re-listen this song that I wrote 20 years ago, and it'll be cool to listen to it and have a place that I can very easily listen to it without having to dig an old hard drive or something like that out." So it'd be good to be able to do that, regardless. And as I say, music is a lot of memories, and certain songs are a good memory for what I was doing and where I was doing it when I was younger. So anyway, this song's I think I'll have called it an announcement, and as I say, it features a quote from a stage show of the musical The Wiz, which we did when we were 17 or so at school, as part of the music staff and stuff, and big band and things like that we did. And as I say, I worked on the tech team and the lighting, and during the show I was on the spotlight, but previously we'd help set up and get all the equipment and stuff beforehand, but during the show I was actually on the spotlight, which was cool. And yeah, it was a lot of fun to do. A really good experience. My school was pretty good at doing things like that, so it was always good to be able to do amazing things like that at school. So I hope you enjoy it. As I say, it's a bit silly, it's a bit of fun, and it brings back a lot of memories for myself. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it. All right, and I'll see you next week. Hopefully we should be back from holiday at that point, and we should be starting to get back to some new songs that I'm currently writing. Just playing around with Reason 11 still and seeing what I can do with it. As I say, I've been writing for Supermoon as well, so the stuff that we don't end up using, some of the demos, certainly some of the demos that I wrote, we've changed the songs quite considerably, so I might post those and just see what you know, and if you do end up listening to my band Supermoon and hearing that song on our next album, it'll be funny for you to listen to how I'd originally written it, or you know how I'd originally envisioned it, and see how the sort of creative process has changed it. Obviously, when I write those, sometimes I have limitations because the drum beats are just samples and things like that, so it doesn't quite give you a natural feel to the drum track. But as I say, it's you know, it's quite cool to kind of see that change. But anyway, yeah, enjoy this next track and announcement, and as I say, I'll see you next week. All right, thanks a lot, guys. Cheers.